What up? I'm Nicholas. That's Shadur. Today we're here to talk about personal finance.
Let's go. I'm Owen. Together half with Nicholas. This is my boy Lucas. Today we're going to be talking about how to rent your first apartment in specific.
Right side, Marin. As I walk along this fence and I see my fellow classmates graduating alongside myself, I realize that pretty soon I'm going to be renting my first apartment. And talking about that with us today, Andrew Schaefer.
We're here to make sure that everybody on this wall, including the people that really need help, like Big D here, know how to rent their first apartment.
So before we dive into the video, we're gonna start off with some key terms to make sure we're really understanding what we're talking about here today.
First up, the credit score. This is a numerical representation of your credit worthiness, ranging from 300 to 850. Don't look.
Alright, so security deposits are what you put down initially before you start renting the house or apartment. It is normally equivalent to about 1 month's rent to cover any damages done to the house. And if you take good care of the apartment, you should get this money back.
When you apply for an
Apartment.
you'll often need to pay for an application fee. This covers background and credit checks and is often non-refundable.
So if you're smart about your money, your fees will never spike.
Bow, 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 bow. Bow, 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 bow. Yeah.
Rental history report is a record of your past rental behavior, including any evictions and your payment history. Landlords use this to assess how reliable you are as a tenant.
There's a lot of flexibility to credit score too. Even if your credit score is bad, there's some other options, particularly through CMB loans and bridge financing.
A loan-to-value ratio, or LTV, is the ratio of a loan to the value of the purchased property. A higher LTV means you're borrowing more money compared to the property's value.
Debt service coverage ratio, or DSCR, measures a property's cash flow compared to its debt obligations. A higher DSCR indicates a greater ability to cover debt payments.
Cap rate, or capitalization rate, is the rate of return on a real estate investment property based on the expected income it will generate. A bridge loan is short-term financing used to bridge the gap between purchasing property and securing permanent financing.
CMBS loans, or commercial mortgage-backed security loans, are a type of financing secured by commercial real estate and sold to investors to secure the market.
Lastly, HUD 221-D4 loans are government-issued loans provided by the Department of Housing and Urban Development for the construction of substantial rehabilitation of multi-family properties.
So now we're going to address some common mistakes and misunderstandings about the real estate market.
One major mistake is ignoring credit checks, and it's important to remember that having a good credit score is vital to keeping your prices low, and I forget what else I was going to fucking say. To application rejections or higher security deposits.
Another common oversight is not budgeting for moving costs. People often forget to budget for expenses beyond the first month's rent, such as security deposits and application fees.
A cosigner is someone who agrees to pay your debt if you fail to do so, and they oftentimes have to have background checks, which means good credit score. Credit score, credit score.
Credit score. Failing to check your credit score for errors is another huge mistake. Errors can lower your credit score and impact your rental application.
For first-time investors, underestimating the complexity of loans can be a significant issue. Multifamily financing involves detailed documentation.
Ignoring market research can lead to purchasing properties that don't generate enough income to cover loan payments. It's crucial to understand the market before investing.
Over-leveraging is another pitfall. Taking on too much debt relative to the property's value can lead to financial strain if the property doesn't perform as expected.
Inadequate budgeting for renovations can impact profitability. Renovations often cost more and take longer than expected.
Lastly, misjudging rental income potential can lead to cash flow issues, especially during vaccines or academic downturns.
Here are some surprising info that might help you.
Vaccines meaning vacancies.
Did you know that winter is the best time to rent? Rent prices tend to be lower in the winter due to reduced competition, potentially saving you money.
While evictions don't show on credit reports, they do appear on rental history reports, which can impact future rental applications.
Utility payments can boost your credit. If you consistently pay your utility bills on time and they are reported to credit agencies, it can improve your credit score.
Now, we are going to hear from our special guest, Andrew Schaefer. Andrew Schaefer is here today to talk to us about personal financing.
And action.
Absolutely. First, I always recommend setting aside 30% of your take-home income for rent. Don't forget to consider additional expenses like utilities, parking, and pet fees. Visiting rental properties in person is crucial to avoid issues like crime, noisy neighbors, or poor conditions. Carefully read leases to understand your obligations and prevent unexpected expenses. Also consider getting renter's insurance. It's inexpensive and protects against liabilities and personal belongings. Lastly, do a video walkthrough before moving in to document the apartment's condition and ensure your security deposit back.
Thank you for joining us today to learn about personal finance. We hope that we have given you some valuable insights so that you can be better at renting an apartment in the future, because that was our goal. Hope that you got that from that. Thanks.
Dun.